Yeah.
Appreciate the hustle, nigga. Chopper be the muscle, nigga. On the come up out here, nigga. Don't get dumb about her, nigga. Where you from up out here, nigga? You a bum up out here, nigga. Not the two, not the three. I'm the one up out here, nigga. What a nigga, please.
What up, though? OG Kenny, O underscore G underscore Kenny at Retired from the Streets TV. Shout out to my dude Finkel Work. That track, my man, I told you, bro, been going. My baby been working. You feel me? I just want to welcome y'all to another episode of Retired from the Streets TV. It been like, man, listen, I've been picking back up on the midnight grind with my bro at the laundromat. He got a contract with Shinola Hotel. You talking about big bread. He talking about, can you come in for a few hours at night and get this extra? Man, I'm there. You tripping. So, yeah, I've been busting my butt on the midnight tip again, though, man. But I'm still in VA with these stories, man. I'm still in Virginia. I'm still in Jarrett, Virginia, to be specific. Greensville Correctional Facility, to be more specific, right? Now, a lot of y'all understand and know that, right? When you go to institutional settings, right, you have a lot of individuals who come in there with things that may be going on with them on the mental level. They may have some chemical imbalances, right? So by right, a lot of them individuals need to be on medication. A lot of individuals leave the streets with prescriptions already and have to get those prescriptions filled in institutional settings with the best generic version they can get you. So the problem with that is that you got a lot of dudes who abuse that. You got a lot of young dudes, older dudes too, but you got a lot of young dudes that come in there and abuse that Medline situation. A lot of dudes won't take their meds and sell them off for extra food, for coffee shots, for other drugs. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a lot of that going on. So with that being said, a lot of dudes in there on the ziggity boom, what we call bugs, that was what we used to call them, but they used to be on the ziggity boom because they're not on their medication the right way. So they making rash decisions. They out there blowing up on the yard, fighting, stealing, acting out, doing all type of other stuff that's unbecoming of them because they chemicals is off, right? So y'all get kind of what I'm saying, right? So think about all the dudes who buying the pills from these dudes, right? A lot of these dudes, when they get in there, they don't even be having issues. They might can't sleep, or they dealing with the guilt of what they did, or that bid just start whooping their butt, right? Doing the bid ain't easy. It ain't for everybody. I'm telling you that. You got to be a sound-minded individual. You got to be strong-minded. You got to be fortified in a belief system, possibly, or some type of regimented scheduled day in order to get through them days. Without regimen, without getting up saying I'm doing this, doing that, doing this day to day, and figuring out and then switching that up every now and then to kind of break up the monotony of the bid, you will lose yourself in doing the bid, and sometimes individuals lose their minds. So I got a couple of young white dudes that I knew, right? I didn't know them from the street, but I met them in institution, right? So I met them down in Virginia, and they used to borrow stuff from me, you know what I mean? Because I had a little store operation going, like I say. So they come borrow stuff, always pay back, never bad paymasters, right? A couple of them. But they was tweakers, right? They going and buying pills from dudes. And I'm talking about, they'll just ask dude, hey man, you taking, they didn't care what it was. These dudes was taking and crushing up and playing with their nose with all type of different pills. And then they was doing what they call colon rolling, right? Where you take and put it in your rear cavity, and they say you get 70% of your roll off of that. I ain't trying to influence nobody or educate nobody on how to do nothing, right? That's not. I'm gonna give that disclaimer. I'm not trying to educate nobody who don't know nothing about this or none of that type of stuff or influence you. I'm telling you, this is the sad of when you incarcerated and you trying to cope with a bid and you start reaching off to other things. And one of the main things, the easiest things to get in there is pills because they give them the dudes. They give you Seroquel. They give you, I think, what was some dudes? I don't know if it's Hal Dog or, man, listen, I don't know all the different terms and the different names because that ain't my lane. I never took pills, you know what I'm saying, unless they was prescribed to me. And if I dabbled, it was a party thing way back in the day. Like, let me see, but nope, I don't like nothing taking control of my body. So, that was something that I said, oop, nope, I'm straight, I'm good, right? However, some of them dudes ain't that strong. And what I'm talking about is these two little dudes. Let's just call them, let's just say Will and Ty, for sake of just keeping their names private, right? Will and Ty used to come to me all the time, brawling. Then I started seeing what they was doing. What my business was to do with the money, just get my money back. And like I said, they was good at that. The problem was I watched over the course of months, these dudes start eating less. They started, you know what I'm saying? Even in the child heart of free for, they start eating less. They start shopping less. These dudes start physically looking different. You understand what I'm saying? And it was like you would see these dudes, you would hear them and see their lights on. They still going on and off all night, all night. It was like you watched the demise of this happen. I watched it happen over the course of about 2 or 3 months, and it was like I don't know if it was the distance from being in Michigan and having to be all the way down there away from family and with no support. And it's different when you're in Michigan because people will come see you sometime. But the money thing they may not be able to do all the time. But a visit is worth way more than getting some commissary, right? So, but some of them dudes wasn't getting that. So I know when Ty's situation, the shorter one, he was like, man, my people come to see me, but that's because I was in Jackson, and he was from Jackson. You understand what I'm saying? So they like 15, 20 minutes away from the prison. So it was nothing for them to get visits. But they didn't have much money. He was poor, all this type of stuff. But he would get his little hustle on down there, had a little job. All that money he's making on that job started going to them pills, I promise you. Or borrowing against somebody and they taxing you. I was kind of a little more sympathetic. Some dudes are doing 2 for 1. Well, if you come and get one thing, you give me 2 back. I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, give me 1.5. So if it was worth $1, you bring me $1.50 back instead of $2. So I wasn't trying to crack nobody in the head, and because of that, I had a faster flip, and I had more people that came to me. It was a tactical thing, and you can apply that to real business right now. I ain't talking about doing anything illegal, but you can apply that to real business right now, where you look at how the value of something is, and you want to at least double that, right? And in some cases, you want to have a 70% markup. So if you spend 30 cents on something, you want to be able to sell it for $1 or more. So, anywho, to stay on the topic, I watched these young, I'm going to call them brothers because they was cool with me. They were solid dudes, and we had like minds when it came to a lot of things, especially when it came to the arts. Because dude used to can draw, Lil Ty used to can draw his tail off. Will, on the other hand, was cold with, he could hear a song or beat and recreate that boy on the table or with his chest on spot. You feel me? All that. Like my man Greedy Boy. Listen, if y'all have not found out about my man Greedy Boy, Antoine Tate, go to YouTube, shout him out, hit him up, find him on Facebook and Instagram, and tell that dude to get back to the music, because he cold like that too. So anyway, Will and Ty, I watched this happen, man. Sad, bro. I done saw the sunken eyes. I done seen them tweaking, get the picking in their face. What ended up happening was, starting with them pills, like I said, a lot of dudes down there was getting that bag in through them chicks because they wasn't really, making a lot of money, and they was falling in love with these dudes. These dudes was putting game on them. These dudes was putting heavy game on them chicks. You feel me? Like my dude from, shout out my peoples over at the Big Facts podcast. He like heavy. You feel me? They was putting that heavy on them. So I'm saying is to say, I watched them start using street drugs that was coming in based on developing a habit off the pills that they was buying from dudes that was getting them stuff prescribed to them. You feel what I'm saying? So the MDLC doing the right thing by giving these dudes what they need so they can have that chemical balance and move. Them racy thoughts, can't sleep, whatever else, right? Depression. But these dudes buying them, taking them, start developing a habit that they didn't even have at first. And I'm telling you this because I seen them. I seen it go from sitting there bored, experimenting, buying more. Then you get somebody who they start being crash test dummies because you will have a dude who will introduce them to something just so they can start being the one to copy it so they can get them some off of it. You feel what I'm saying? Turning them out on something new. And that's what started happening when they start getting that heavy stuff in, right? When we start getting the white and the tan in and all that, to keep the names, keep it PG. These dudes started using and abusing on different levels. One of the what was it? I don't remember which one. He lost like a 2 for 2. You understand me? They was getting real narcotics in that bad boy. And it's sad, man. I'm telling you this because I hate to say, if you got somebody incarcerated, if you out here throwing rocks at the penitentiary, you out here Blicky Gang, Draco Gang, and all that, right? Rundown Gang, feel me? Slag Gang. If you doing all that, you got the huevos, you know, the cojones to do all that, then when you go in there, stand tall. If you go in there, God forbid, but if you out here doing all that, then it's a good chance you go in there, right? Or somebody gonna knock your noodle off. Either way, when you get in that situation, stand tall. Don't go in there trying to pop off. Don't go in there trying to hide from that pain. Deal with it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you're hearing what I'm saying. It's easy to think you're gonna casually start, but when you got access to it like that and you huddled in, and people getting it all the time, and every facility, I don't care what you're talking about, most of them getting something in. Most of them got somebody in there that's dirty on the staff that's bringing something in. It's a fact. Most of them. So when that bed start biting at you, when you can't sleep at night, when you waking up in cold sweats, when you can't go back to sleep for real, and you got to get up and go to class the next day and function, and you need this class in order to be considered for parole, but you can't pass it because you can't sleep and you can't focus, and you start trying to pop off, that casual use can turn to an addiction fast. And before you know it, you off and running. And you need it now. And now you can't even see during the time without it. Take heed. Let it soak in. Let it marinate. Take heed to what I'm saying. Because I've seen it happen multiple occasions where dudes got turned out on them pills. And it was sometimes just that, and sometimes it graduated to a more harsher, more progressively damaging drug. So I'm saying all this with love. That's something I saw firsthand when I was down there in Greensville Correctional Facility with two little dudes that I grew real fond of. That was like my little white brothers, you know what I mean? You know, we talked about a bunch of stuff like, man, you could do I'm gonna do you do the label, you run the label because you got the brain. I'll do all the album covers. He can be the producer, man. We can be lit, and I could be like Scott Storch, and I'll be like this guy, and I'm going, you know. And I was like, yeah, that's what's up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be like Travis Barker with a beat machine. You know, and I'm hearing all this and I'm feeling it. I'm like, yeah, that's lit. But then I watched them go into that. I don't know what they're doing now. I lost contact with them. When we went back to Michigan, we didn't go to the same facility. And I thought we was, so I took it for granted. And I ain't never get they hook up, their information. So either way, man, you know, they know who I'm talking about. If y'all catch whiff of this, and I'm hoping y'all still alive and y'all ain't incarcerated, man. If y'all catch whiff of this, I'm hoping y'all doing good. I remember all them times we talked, and we was talking about doing the it was like a reverse Oreo sandwich. You're in the middle, you're the chocolate, and we're out in the white. I was like, man, y'all wild. You feel me? These are my little dudes, man, but I saw them spiral. And I pray none of y'all go down that lane. None of y'all go to get incarcerated. None of y'all have to do a bid, man. But if you do, man, please stay away from the drugs, bro. Please, just say no. And I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart because you know why? I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. If y'all haven't, subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit the notification bell. Go ahead and like it if you like it. You know, share it if you want to share it. Comment whatever you want to comment, good or bad or indifferent. You know, and as always, I want y'all to be safe. And I will see y'all tomorrow. And I'm out. OG Kenny O_G_Kenny, advertised from the streets TV. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ha!